It's the first episode of Bring the Funny. We got our first 10 acts with only 6 moving on for their chance at a $250,000 prize. Who goes on? Who goes home? Find out when we break it down on episode 1, the open mic on AfterBuzz TV, and it starts right now.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Woo!
Ow! Ow!
Living life. How's everyone doing? Hopefully there's smiles on your faces. Episode 1, the open mic of Bring the Funny, is in the books. It was amazing. We have an esteemed panel here to us today to discuss. The first episode was hilarious. First of all, I want to say, how's everyone doing? Y'all good?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Great. Make sure everyone's on the same level.
I'm happy. Man.
All the
I'm
way
happy.
over to my left, my man, Ben Schnau. How's it going? You are an actor, a singer-songwriter. What
That's
don't you
right.
do, Ben?
Oh my God, I'm the director too. I actually shoot movies too. I do, because you have to do it all in LA.
Do you do
right?
comedies?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm from Germany, but I can be funny, guys.
Okay.
I'm always telling that people.
Oh man, Germans are always funny.
Exactly.
On his right, we have a host and journalist, Zakiyyah. How you doing, Zakiyyah Wilbert? Are you like? You good?
I am great. I'm
Yeah.
great. I'm ready to bring the funny.
Bring the funny.
Oh yeah.
And to
Bring it,
my
girl.
immediate left, well, someone with the best name I've ever heard in my life. She's an actress, a comedian, Miss Jackie Nova.
Woo! That's right, baby. Jackie Nova's in the house.
That
Yes.
sounds like you
Oh,
fight
yeah.
crime. I want to thank you all for checking us out on your second screens and devices. We have a good show planned for you today. We have some news. We got a special segment called Chance of Comedy and some other surprises. But before we get into all of that, I want to hear your overall thoughts of the show. Starting with you, Ben. Just first time sitting down watching Bring the Funny.
Oh my God, I was laughing the whole time, to be honest, right? Like almost an hour, I was like straight laughing, because the thing is, they were so different acts, right? It was so diverse. The variety was crazy, because I was expecting it's all stand-up, right? Because that was my first intention when I'm thinking about comedy. I'm always thinking about stand-up, right? But there were sketches and people played the guitar and were singing to the songs while they were telling jokes. I mean, have you seen that before? It's crazy.
Yeah,
I
it was
loved
pretty dope. It was pretty dope.
Yeah.
I loved it.
I thought I was surprised. Exactly.
exactly.
I didn't expect so many skits, or the stand up was great, but the skits caught me by surprise. And then we had some other surprises. I don't want to get into it, but yeah.
Okay.
It was
Totally.
cool.
I'm with you. I'm with you on that. I mean, I was
Okay.
surprised too. Oh my
What do you
God.
think of the show?
I loved it. I love that they incorporated variety and
Yeah.
sketch and the skits. It was like a little bit of SNL mixed with like stand up. I mean, it was like almost like the Gong Show. You know what I mean? Like taking
Yeah.
it really back.
The
And
classic Gong Show, or the new one?
Well, yeah, there's two.
Yeah.
So the classic and the new
Okay.
one. It's all good. It was fun.
Yeah.
That's
And-
all I gotta
For
say.
sure.
The kids show, guys. Come on.
That was
JK
really
Studios,
good.
That we'll
was
get to
dope.
that, man.
Oh,
That was
okay,
good.
okay.
That was-
Sorry,
that
I
was
don't want
pretty
to
good.
spoil
No,
it.
no,
I
that
was
was very good.
You already watched the show. We're not
Spoiler.
spoiling anyway. I thought it was cool, and I love the aesthetic of the stage. It had a very nice throwback kind of like welcome to
Totally.
Saturday night kind of thing.
Right.
What do you guys think about our judges? I mean, our judges and our hosts, Amanda Seals, our judges, Jeff Foxworthy, Chrissy Teigen, and Kenan Thompson. Any thoughts about them, their chemistry, how they work together?
I love Amanda Seals. She's got a really great energy to
Right.
host. She
Okay,
was like
Amanda
on and
Seals.
Right.
popping. Amanda Seals, you bring it, girl. Whoa, whoa.
And I have
Yeah.
to say, Chrissy, I mean, I know you love John Legend, but I love you too. And I love you a little more than he does.
Oh my gosh.
I mean,
Someone's got a
Heartbreaker
crush.
Ben in the house.
my honesty, what can I do? Come on.
What do you think, again?
Oh my gosh! Literally, Chrissy looked amazing.
Okay.
Amanda looked amazing. I love the host. I love the panel. That was great. It was great.
Jeff looked amazing.
Everyone looked amazing.
Jeff looked amazing. Kenan looked
Kenan-
amazing.
Kenan surprisingly was a little bit a little more like serious.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I think he was just like super focused.
Yeah.
And
Super
Jeff is just a
focused.
trip.
You were saying that before the show started, Ben, how like Kenan
Yeah.
looked more like he was the wise Jedi.
Yeah, I mean, I
of all
love
that.
him, but he was almost kind of skeptical a little bit.
Yeah.
I felt, it was like, but he was so like not pessimistic or negative, but he was very serious. So I usually know him like a very funny guy, right?
Right.
Saturday Night Live, he was always doing his jokes and going be crazy over the
All
top.
that, Kenan Kel,
and
yeah.
now he was just like, all right. What do
Oh,
you
so you thought comedy wasn't serious?
Oh,
man.
no!
No,
fired.
okay, you got me on this one. Okay,
Pass it on.
I'm not talking to you anymore.
No, yeah, I had in my notes too that I felt like I thought of the three, not knowing, I thought Jeff Foxworthy would be the more critical one. He'd be the Simon Cowell, quote unquote, of the group. But it definitely was Kenan saying, "Hey, look, I take this seriously. If you're gonna bring the funny, you gotta actually bring it." And so that was interesting to watch.
Yeah, he
you know?
was serious about that one. Yeah, for sure. I thought he really would be more of the like, ha ha ha, but he was was no. He was like
slipping on banana peels.
Simon Cole, like
He reminded me of him at the very beginning, but then he was so easygoing, kind of almost, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. He's just so smooth.
Yeah.
The shaft of comedy. So we had contestants from all over walks of life of comedy. Again, like you were saying, it was definitely a mix. First, we had Matt Rife, who did the first stand-up, who was very, very incredibly handsome. Now I have to ask the ladies on the panel, was this guy really that handsome? Because I don't know.
I don't think it was anything crazy to like. I mean, not for not for the reaction that Chrissy had. I mean, Jesus.
Yeah, I know.
She was ready to like take him home.
But was he funny though?
He was kind of, I mean, he was funny, but he didn't like blow me away.
Sure.
I'm not gonna lie. When he walked out, I saw like the wind blowing in his hair. So I don't know. Like to me, he kind of took me away just a little bit. I felt like Chrissy. I was like,
slow motion.
Okay.
I mean, but I'm always asking myself, you can be good looking and funny, right? I mean, come on.
I mean,
we're
look at us.
We all beautiful people.
I don't know, man.
We are an exception.
I know what you're saying because the majority and it's typically that they're not.
Exactly.
But look at us.
I mean, of course. But I was like, I saw it coming that they were talking about that on the show because even the cast, the judges, they said that like talking about beautiful.
Yeah,
and blah,
Chrissy
blah, blah.
was saying it.
But I'm always like, why do people start talking about it? He can look however. It's more about what he says to the people, right?
Of course.
Like
It's a stigma. It's kind of corny, but it is what it is.
But he nailed it. I felt like he did a good job.
He was good. He was good.
Yeah. It was definitely a good comic to go first to put the tone of what this show might be.
Yeah.
And I'm glad he went first because right after him we got Frangela, which I gotta be honest with you, I thought they won the night. To be honest with you,
They blew me away.
was
Frangela, I'm on the Frangela team.
Yeah.
Wow.
got the merch, got the little pen in the house.
Exactly. I want to go to the movies with Frangela. Okay. Bam.
All right. Yeah.
Exactly.
I felt like I was them.
It really felt like that's like my mom and my aunt at the movie theater because seriously, they just never shut up in the movie theater ever. I'm like, I can't watch a movie with my mom or
and
my
they were
aunts,
in
no.
sync. I mean, honestly, the choreography like was insane to me. I mean, the same wording, they knew exactly what they were doing, and you felt that it was not just practice for 1 or 2 times. There was months of practice, I guess, right?
Oh, absolutely.
And it was a situation that we all know, which is kind of crazy, right?
Right.
I mean, think about it. You go to the movies, there's almost at least one person who's doing something crazy loud, being on the phone. So I really connected to that. I loved it. I was crazy for
I loved it.
It's definitely interesting when it comes to that because people always say there's no new territory for humor, right? There's all the premises already taken, and people say, we're comics, so they'll say, oh, I have that bit that's very similar, that guy is that very similar. So walking into them being loud in the theater, at first I was kind of like, oh, another loud.
Right.
But they brought a very, very unique twist to it that I understood, that I felt like I knew them, which I think that's it's intangible. That will be super valuable if they get moved on to further rounds, you know?
Totally.
So that was like our topic.
They felt like friends almost, even if they don't know
They
them.
were best friends. They said they're BFFs. Like they
they were my friends too. That's what I felt. I was like,
They're our friends now too. Frangela, we're all BFFs now.
I agree.
We're all
BFFs. Friends. Best friends.
What do you guys think about Jared Fell, like the comedian magician? Now, comedy magic is hard to put together, and he did it in a weird pickpocket kind of way.
I mean, I feel like he's a great magician. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Right? I really loved the tricks. That was crazy. He was always holding it already into like behind his back, so everyone knew.
I don't even understand.
Except the guy in front of him, right? But the jokes, like the funny part about it. I'm not sure. I mean, seriously. There was some parts that was funny, but overall, I feel like he's a better magician than a comedian, to be honest.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, a lot of it went over my head. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, okay, but like it was funny. But I'm like, okay, I gotta see another one. I gotta see.
Stay tuned for next
It's a good thing. You want more.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. But like how the judges were saying, like Jeff was like, holy cow, you were like ahead of us.
Yeah.
Like he was so quick.
Right,
I really was like
right.
glued to the TV, like, okay, what is he gonna try to pull that I can catch?
Right,
But I was
right.
like, what?
Yeah.
Like seriously?
So I was going to ask you this too, because you're also on stage as a comedian. Was that jitters? Because I feel like if you're nervous, time slows way down, and you become the Flash. And you'll run through your bit and be like, "Oh, I got like 3 minutes left," or do you think that's just the way he was, and it just didn't come across?
I don't know. I kind of felt like it right off the top. He had a nervous energy where I was like, oh my God, you're taking so long just to get somebody on stage, and that's already eating up your time. That should have been timed a little bit better. So I feel like he was prepared, but not fully prepared. And it kind of like he just kind of, because he's great with magic, he sort of slapped a couple of things together. That's like how I felt.
But honestly, the guy in the audience, he knew that person, right? I mean, really?
He said they didn't, but hey, it's show business.
The way how he was talking to him on stage, I felt like there was kind of a relationship.
I take everything at face value. He said he know him. He said he know him.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay, don't be skeptical, Ben. Don't be skeptical. Okay, we got this. All right. Okay.
He's jaded. Citizens in that first language.
He's jaded.
Yeah.
You don't believe anything.
Like, no one's that pretty. No one is that magic. Yeah.
Okay, I'm not realistic anymore. That's it. I'm done. So, I'm a dreamer now. I'm just dreaming. Okay.
I understand that. But before we move on, Ben, can you do us a favor and tell the world how they can watch and interact with other AfterBuzz shows?
Of course, yeah. I mean, guys, honestly, we just want to say thank you to all of you guys, right? And we are like we want to say thank you because you making of the talk, right, of ESPN, of the TV talk, and for us to continue to grow, we could definitely use your help, yeah, to be honest. So go on YouTube right now, and please give us some thumbs up, right? We want to have 5 stars. That would be amazing if you could do that, right? Support us that we continue doing these kind of shows. We really love doing that. Bring the Funny just has started, so please do that for us. Being a part of AfterBuzz TV, yeah, it means so much to us. It has meant a lot to every one of us, right? We're a big team now. We're big families. We want to do that for you. We want to continue doing that for you. And we truly appreciate all your support, right? So go on YouTube, 5 thumbs, 5 stars. We're going to continue. We're never going to stop, people, okay? That's it.
I like the 5 thumbs.
Yeah.
5 thumbs.
I just created that.
I love it.
Now he's a magician.
He's
got the 5 thumbs.
I'm the magician from Europe, and I do it very well, right? Okay.
What's going on in the chat? Tell me.
Ooh, okay. So we got a lot of people tuned in here.
Wow, you got a lot of stuff.
All right. So let's see. Yes, we have Emily E. She says yes, sketch comedy.
Yes,
right.
Queen,
Yes. You gotta say it with your chest. Yeah.
Okay.
You got it.
And then we have Kim M. She says, this is good. Hope to see more weekly. Yes, girl. You will see us. You will see us because we're going to bring the funny.
Bring the funny and 5 thumbs.
Yeah, and 5 thumbs.
5 thumbs. That's my new phrase now, guys. Thank you.
I love
5
it.
thumbs, Ben.
5 thumbs.
So I will be remiss without mentioning Harry and Chris. So this part of the show, they started like speeding up some of the contestants. They got kind of like short kind of comedy acts, but Harry and Chris eventually went through. So I got to bring them up. These guys were comedy musicians that play the guitar, which at first can seem very cheesy. And I think that we're watching, I noticed half of us were into it, the other half of us were kind of like, okay.
I was one of those.
I personally enjoyed it because I think they relied heavily on 90s references because 90s are the new 80s. And I think once you drop in a couple 90s references, people love that stuff.
That's true.
I DJ weddings. Everyone wants 90s hip hop. They did Super Mario and Friends. It was cool. What do you guys think on your end?
I mean, I think Jake and I were skeptical.
Sorry, and I love anything music because I'm a musician as well. I love anything music, so I thought that was gonna super hook me in, but I kind of was in and out of it a little bit. I don't know. Maybe it was their stage presence, and maybe it was just kind of like a little blah for me.
Exactly.
But it was funny. It wasn't like it was like, oh, they're totally bad. No, they were good.
Right.
It was just not strong enough for me. I'm picky.
I was digging the music. I'm a 90s kid, right? So I grew up with that music. But I think,
Represent, man.
I look like 15, right?
Right, go on.
No.
No, so, no, just kidding. I think that the jokes didn't come across, to be honest. I mean, the music was great and everything, the performance was good, but I think the jokes, the punchline was missing to me, for me, you know? So
they were kind of what we call absurdist comedy. They're kind of like off the center.
Kind of.
I got stepbrother vibes though, so I kind of rock with it because I love when it's awkwardly funny. Like I'm like,
This is weird,
like when do I laugh? Okay, like I liked it, so it was great for me. I definitely want to see more. Definitely need to see. I feel like everything I'm going to say, I need to see more.
I need to see more.
I need to see more.
Maybe they convinced me,
Yeah,
you never know. I mean, hey.
How'd you guys feel about, I know we got a short snippet of Ali Colbert. She had that bit about how boyfriends are kind of like Amazon and UPS. I'm not really sure I feel kind of triggered, but I'm a FedEx guy myself. It was hard to tell because her bit was very, very short. But it seemed the judges weren't that impressed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I needed a little more. To be
I
completely
definitely
honest,
needed a
so,
little bit
yeah.
more. I was just that kind of threw me off because I was like, what?
Yeah.
Wait. She's funny. Like, why are we not hearing more?
Exactly.
You know?
I kind of felt like if we saw her at a comedy club, you'd be like, cool. But
Yeah.
like, now it was kind of like, well, that's what you were showing me then based on what's around you. Sorry.
Right,
you know?
right.
Yeah.
But it just
She's gonna get great criticism and like go back and be better.
Yeah.
of course.
Right?
Yeah.
Positive energy.
Yeah,
Positive energy.
Yes.
Speaking of positive, shout out to Ian and Laura who came on after her talking about being on the cruise with couples, which must be crazily awkward being on this boat when everyone's linking up, hooking up, and you're just like, yeah, what's going on?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, again, almost like Ali, his bit was so short he kind of gets lost in the shuffle. Like I can't remember anything but that. In fact, if I didn't write that down, I don't remember anything about.
I'm almost looking at you like, what the hell are you even saying to me
Who?
right now?
I made him up,
what?
Jackie. I
You
totally.
made-
It's a hologram.
Were they actually there?
Yeah, we're actually
Are
there.
you sure?
But guys, we don't have to forget this guy, Armand Otto.
Oh yeah, he
come
was
on.
right after that.
That was brilliant.
The violinist.
The violinist. I mean, come on.
You were cracking up,
I was
so
cracking
explain-
up like
You were
crazy.
super cracking
I mean, you were
up.
sitting like, and I was like, so funny, and everyone was
getting
looking up.
upset with
I
us.
was like going crazy.
You're
about
just so
this guy.
cultured that violin humor totally hits home for you. I mean,
Yeah.
the way
See,
he
the
just-
Europeans versus the Americans.
we want more Frangela over here.
I didn't get it.
I'm trying to become American.
Yeah, I guess the fact that the violin playing is very, very expensive. I never booked one, so I couldn't tell you.
He
that
only
was,
did like this, and then it was done.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy funny.
That was a punchline.
That was crazy. It was so quick.
Okay.
It was like 2 seconds.
Okay.
Poor girl.
I did one of those things where like I blew air through my nose. I was like, I wasn't like dying. I was like, that was dope.
I know.
Okay.
We were like,
Yeah.
he was like, and he was looking at us like, aren't you
Yeah,
kidding
give him
me?
the championship.
Okay, I feel embarrassed now.
No, man.
No.
I'm just
I
kidding.
feel like the American humor and the European humor is so different. I mean, look at The Office. The Office in Europe and The
Two different
Office in
flavors.
America is so different. Like, I would a
Right.
million times want to watch The Office versus the
You don't
European
even
one.
want to know how the Office is in Germany. You don't want to know.
There's a German office?
Yes,
A
that's
German
the
Office.
original.
That sounds
But I
Oh,
can't.
the German. Oh,
But I cannot really talk about it if you know what I'm talking about.
Okay, I will get some subtitles and check it out
Okay.
on my Netflix or whatever.
I'm lost.
That's okay.
Well, speaking about law, it's the same face you made when our next contestant, the future of technology and comedian, Mr. Zed, came out.
Oh, God.
He was a robot comedian.
That was. I mean,
Okay, polarizing was one word. Kenan was about to have his head explode. What do you think about that, Zakiyyah? What do you think?
I thought he was fake. Like, I still don't believe. I'm like the judges. Like, I'm like, he's not real.
It's
He's
Max
not
Headroom,
real.
yeah.
But it was really
and
great.
I think he
though.
wanted to do that. That's on
I kind of
purpose.
wanted
Do you want the robot? Are we all do the
do it.
robot?
We all do the robot.
Guess what? He's gonna be super memorable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even
yeah.
if he didn't make
He's
it,
gonna
doesn't
go
matter.
far.
He is super memorable because I was like, what?
Yeah.
This is not even
Right.
like special effects, and
Yeah.
he looks like this.
The movement was
Like, it doesn't look
perfect.
real.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
his movement.
That's
that-
amazing.
And the
Kudos to
laugh.
him.
Oh my
Yeah,
god,
yeah,
that was good. That was good.
That was
I kind of creeped out. Like,
I can't do it.
yeah.
I can't do it. You can't laugh at your own jokes.
That reminded me of a horror movie, like a
Rule number
bad,
two.
like low budget
Like
horror
Chrissy
movie.
said, creepy.
Yeah. Very
So
good.
that's the thing too. You're not going to see him again after this, but I would say this: props to the production team because when he came out that side door, he looked like a star. It was like, is this
Oh,
going to be
yeah.
like the most funniest guy? Okay, it was fine.
Yeah.
I
Exactly.
think I felt like this for me. I loved it. If I was on a cruise ship and that was an act, I'd been fine with it. But I would not want to pay to see it again.
Yeah.
It'd be like, okay, that was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
You
the
know?
problem.
Moving
He's
on.
definitely variety. That's
Yeah.
what he is.
Yeah.
He's a variety show. He's like so old school.
Yeah.
He'd be on the
I
Gong
know.
Show.
Because the fun part was more about the movement than the jokes, actually, right? I mean,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
if you see that a second or third time, I get it. It's not going to be funny anymore.
Yeah, I think that's
So-
what Kenan was trying to point
Yeah,
at. He was
I
like,
can
so
see
how
that.
much
Yeah.
can you do something
I
else?
know.
I am a robot.
I know.
Another one that was polarizing on the opposite end because I wasn't a fan of these guys, but JK Studios came out next. They were the
Right.
kids sketch comedy. I know you did. You guys eyes lit up. I'm sitting there all bitter like.
He was like, Grandpa.
Yeah, walk
He
me
was
through
not
this.
feeling it.
What about it was like
Right.
so appealing for you guys? Because I didn't see it.
Details.
It was
Go
different.
ahead. Go ahead.
Okay.
School break.
All right.
You
So-
got this. Come on.
All right. It was just details. I mean, like the mix between Disney Channel times Adult Swim for me. That's how
Okay.
That's how I put it in my head. So it was just the details, like the dance, the music. Like, it was so cute.
Right.
It was cute and it was funny. It was funny.
The red guy with the shirt.
He was hilarious.
He was like, if you're gonna do a setup and you're gonna do a punchline, he was the punchline
all the time.
He was
all the time. That's what cracked me up.
Punchline for sure.
I like this. The song,
it was cool.
I don't know. I think because I'm a mom, so like I hear the little. It's so cute. It's so kid.
Yeah, it was so cute.
He's like, what?
I got SNL vibes, like Saturday Night Live.
It definitely was SNL. I think I've said it before the show in our pre-meeting. It was like, I like the idea of them taking over. I love the premise of the sketch. The actual jokes, the punchlines did not hit home for me. I felt like it had been improv and you had that like we're in the moment. I've been fine, but that was rehearsed, and I was like, you guys could have come a lot. There's a lot more territory for you guys to mine. But I'm just being I'm being Kenan right now.
You're
Sorry,
a tough raider.
I know.
Wow, he's so negative.
I like the robot guy.
You're so negative.
I hate fun.
Wow, I thought I'm negative. You are
That
negative.
gets 3 thumbs.
3 thumbs down.
We're just kidding.
3 thumbs.
You like that 5 thumbs thing, right?
I
can see that.
Yeah.
I think it totally works. And our last contestant was our Orlando Leva, who had his hilarious bit about loving HDTV, the Home Garden Network.
I love this guy.
I had vibes of a Harlan Williams, Michael Richards, Tracy Morgan. Walk me through it, Ben. What are you thinking?
I mean, I love this guy because he really hit it on the head, right? Because HGTV, right? I mean, for me as a European, I watched that a couple of weeks ago for the first time. I mean, I'm serious. Okay? I'm like a virgin when it comes to that stuff, right?
Yeah.
And I watched that, and it's exactly what happens.
It is.
On that show, it's like, oh my God, this living room looks shit. Why does he do that? Why does he have this chair?
Yeah.
And I'm not interested in furniture, but I felt it. I was like, man, I don't like this bedroom, and I don't like the bed.
Yeah.
And I was like, I totally get it. That's why I was laughing so hard about it. Right? But also the presence he has is very, very different.
Yeah, he has like a nervous energy, but it's like funny.
And he comes in like, and then he's like,
Yeah.
But then I kind of liked that. I was like, oh, that's cool.
I loved his nervous energy. It does remind me of Sebastian, like Chrissy was mentioning.
Exactly.
He's funny. He's so he hits it on the nose, just like Jeff was saying. Because like I know there's been times like when I don't really watch TV that much, but like when you're home, you're not feeling so good, and you turn on the thing, and there, boom, there goes like all these home network stuff.
It's
oh my God! By the time you know it, it's like tomorrow.
Oh my
and you're
God.
like, what? What time is it?
It's
like,
insane.
You know what I mean?
It's tomorrow. Oh man, HGTV, I can't tell you. I guess I'm an old comedian guy. I just love that I am okay with being nervous, like Harlan Williams was, and he was willing to be in his own skin. And it was definitely, you're talking about territory of bits. No one really has an HDTV bit, so props to that. And again, we've all been there. I've been the whole thing like, I should be watching the game, but I'm doing this, and this just happens to be flip or flop. So props to Orlando. I gotta ask you, at that moment, do you think he was going on after you saw that before the announcement? You didn't.
No, I knew.
Like,
You knew, but you did not.
I felt like he should have, and he.
Like after hearing his bit, you were like, that guy's definitely going forward, or you were kind of like,
yeah, no, I knew he was going forward.
Okay.
The analogy between sports and HGTV was so original.
Yeah.
Like I'm like,
because you wouldn't expect it, right? Because he looks like somebody that would be glued to the TV watching like football.
That's so
especially
true.
football.
It's so
But
true.
like, and like you were saying, like you really do that when you're watching HGTV. Like I'm like. Marble counters. Everyone knows to get the marble counters. What are you doing? Like, what are you doing?
It's like the Real Housewives.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, guys, coming to the US, I watched the Real Housewife once, and now I'm like addicted on it.
And there's different cities
and they're talking about stuff, and I said, that's not interesting. That's not interesting at all, but I love it. And I just like, keep watching it. I said,
that's true.
How she's yelling at her, and and I said, wow, I love that. Sorry about it.
So it was announced the 6 acts moving on to the next round called the Comedy Clash, where Frangela, Orlando Leva, Jared Fell, Harry and Chris, JK Studios, and Matt Rife. Any surprises of that 6?
Yes. I mean, this is so surprised. I can't remember their name. Harry and Chris. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Who's thinking right now? Like, I just didn't.
Me too.
I was
Stepbrother
surprised.
vibes, though.
Okay.
We love you guys.
I know,
Don't get us wrong.
I
We
feel
love
you,
you,
girl.
but
Yeah, if anything, I was more surprised that their bit was cut short and had them move on. But I mean, it's fine. Like comedy music is so hard because it's almost like a dying art form. People who do it don't do it as much. So I'm willing to see more of them. I think was the thing for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought for sure I didn't want to push JK Studios through, but you guys did, so it's all good.
I like JK Studios.
JK over
Yes.
Harry and Chris.
I believe Orlando's going to far. he's gonna go far.
Oh, for sure.
Oh yeah, the last
well,
one.
yeah.
Oh yeah, he's gonna go far.
Okay.
I'm sure he'll get that in
Hold-
predictions.
I don't know. I'm seeing like Frangela. Like.
Oh,
I'm
they too.
seeing-
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
they do too.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Hold
Oh,
that
yeah.
thought.
Yeah.
Hold that
Hold
thought.
that thought.
Oh,
But for now, we're going to do a special segment for AfterBuzz TV. That is top 3 surprise moments of tonight's episode of Bring the Funny. We confirmed, had a little cabal before the show, talking about 3 things that was pretty awesome. Coming in with number 3, we had Amanda Seale's Guide to Comedy and her laughing tutorial. That was pretty fun, watching Amanda Seale, who's always a professional comedian, being like, this is how you laugh. And her, was it corn chip one?
Yeah.
That was dope. Number 2 was Kenan's failed impression of Chrissy. For some reason, he went with the British equestrian,
Yeah,
whatever it was.
yeah, that was pretty bad.
I
Actually.
will
It was cute. It was cute.
It was cute.
cute,
He
but he
went
didn't-
for it.
That's what women
he did
always
not
say. It
nail
was
it.
cute.
It was cute. Well, you failed. Yeah, you tried.
It was cute though. It was always
cute.
cute.
It's a Chrissy impression. You the smile thing. You the whole. That's a Chrissy impression.
Right.
Well, you should have been up there.
I know, right?
Let's replace him.
The only comedian in town not on that show right now is here in the after show. Number 1 definitely has to be the cameo of the man himself, Mr. All of You, John Legend. Sliding through, giving up.
Give it up, John Legend in the
Chrissy, I
house.
love you more than him. Chrissy, I love you
Yeah, gotta
more
put it out
than
there,
him.
man. It's a secret. It's called
put it out
positive
there.
affirmations.
Listen.
So props for that.
I think Matt Rife has Chrissy's heart a little bit.
Oh my
yeah,
God, took
yeah.
a picture. Did you see that? At the
Yeah,
end of
so
the show,
John
they took a
Legend,
picture, right?
John Legend, be careful. No.
That was so cute. I literally love their relationship.
I
Like,
do.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
it's-
I think it's
beautiful.
perfect that he came in right after that little bit with Matt.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did. It was totally like, okay, just making sure that that's my wife.
Yes,
Right.
my
I
wife.
see you.
Yeah.
I see you, Matt.
That was actually cool.
Tell him, John, I'm with you. Tell him.
But speaking of comedy, it's now time for our special segment. It's called the Champions of Comedy.
No.
Give it up for Miss Jackie. You got something for us?
All right, yeah, we've got comedy chants over here. We're going to talk about a special segment, and I'm going to bring up a legend, Robin Williams, born July 21st, 1951 in Chicago. Great-great-grandson of Mississippi governor and senator, and his mother, Lori McLaurin, was a former model from Mississippi. Did we know this? I didn't know this.
No.
And his father, Robert Fitzgerald Williams, was a Ford Motor Company executive from Indiana. William had English and German and French and Welsh and Irish, Scottish ancestries.
Yes.
I mean, he's amazing. He's a legend.
God.
He's a legend in his own. Like, I mean, we're not going to talk about his unfortunate event.
Yeah.
Rest in peace. We love you.
Miss Doubtfire. You remember
Miss
that?
Doubtfire, Aladdin.
That was Aladdin.
Classic.
Oh my
classic,
gosh.
classic.
I got a little bit of an anecdote. The first time I ever did comedy, it was about 5 years ago next month. It was on, I won't forget the date. It was August 10th, 2014. It was a Sunday. It was a Comedy Store, one of the greatest nights of my life.
Well, respect for that, by the way.
Oh, thank you, man. It was
it
it changed my life for the better.
Wow.
Mr. Williams had passed on the day after. And so I always felt like there was a link there between his, like, not his career, but definitely like his energy and mine, how I started the week of his passing. So the props that he's the first champion of comedy. That's where, okay, you come check it out.
So exactly the day after you went on stage.
The Monday, yeah, it was a Monday. It had to be the 11th. Yeah, was the 11th or the yeah,
Yeah.
August
I mean,
11th.
that's
yeah.
destiny
August
to me.
11th,
I believe in destiny.
2014.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
truly do. I mean,
It does, man. It
Wow.
tells how we're all connected in a
Yeah.
certain way.
Oh my gosh,
That's
you're gonna
awesome.
make me
He's
cry.
got
I get
having
goosebumps, people. I mean,
He's
seriously.
legend. Oh my God.
That's amazing.
God, I
I
only
know
got
that.
to see a glimpse of him.
Yeah.
A glimpse. I didn't get to talk to him. But I think we have a little bit of William.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All of
and
us
Aladdin and
do.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. Then we are from different continents, right? I mean, I'm from Europe, born and raised, but we all know him. He's a legend in Europe too, and I grew up with him like you did,
And
Yeah.
so
which
nice.
is insane to me. And this person changed the world, you know?
He
So
really
Oh
did.
yeah,
it changed
absolutely.
it.
I played the genie from Aladdin in my high school play.
Oh, no.
always felt like yeah, those always like.
You're really gonna make me cry here.
I cry with you.
Well,
Okay?
hey, bring the funny. It does come from like tragedy and
That's
all that
true.
stuff.
Give me some
I-
napkins.
Coming up now, we have our new segment. Ben, tell us something that we all can laugh about.
Okay, news is ready to go. No, seriously, guys. I know, man, we probably heard about that already, right? Chrissy, I said that already. I love you, right? But why did you do that, right? I mean, she went on Twitter before the show even started, the first episode, and she shared a private link to the world. So everyone on Twitter could watch the show already. in advance. So she just posted that.
Yeah.
And then after 30 minutes, I think some people on Twitter just told her, hey, you probably just shared a private link. You know that, right?
Our ad dollars.
Yeah, and exactly. She just shared the email and said, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And then she basically sent a Twitter link or a post a couple minutes later. I think I'm gonna get fired now, but thanks so much for all your support, and I hope you enjoyed the show. And then 10 minutes after it, she said, oh, by the way, if you like to watch the show, please, it's gonna come up on Tuesday, 10 p.m. Don't forget about it. And then I was just like, oh, that's a trick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, oh, she did that kind of on purpose, right? Chrissy.
It's like a sitcom thing.
I'm not sure.
Oh, Chrissy.
I'm not sure.
Chrissy.
I'm not sure if that's.
Ben's in love.
Yeah.
I'm still in love, though, of course. But the second thing I wanted to mention is about Jeff, right? I mean, honestly, we probably all know him as the stand-up famous guy, like doing stand-up comedy for so many years, right? But he was never on Instagram since Chrissy told him to get on Instagram. So he just started. If you go on his Instagram, he just has 40 posts or something right now. But he has already 15,000 followers.
Oh, of course, more than I do.
I said, Jeff, I do that for 5 years. I just have thousands. Hello?
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh, brother, man.
Anyway, but I know. But the interesting about Jeff is that he has a farm in Georgia. So he's even planting like vegetables and soya beans and all that kind of stuff. So
wait.
Seriously.
He's a farmer too?
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's like, I saw a picture on Instagram. It's like he's standing in front of a tractor like, hello, everybody. I'm in Georgia, right? This is my truck, and this is what I'm doing. And I was like...
Oh, my God.
That's a American accent. That's cool. Which is better than my German accent, so props.
Thank you.
Yeah. So
Put Ben on the show.
No, props for people who live their life. Because he could have been in a mansion sipping like out of a golden chalice, but he's still like out there farming.
Yeah.
I love that. That makes him real to me. I love that about people. You know, you are a star, but I believe even if you are a star and you're famous, you're still a human being, right?
Yeah.
So just be like, stay grounded and do whatever you love. And that he does that is phenomenal to me. I love that.
Are you guys Foxworthy fans or Blue Collar Comedy fans? Or
I watched a couple of shows.
Yeah.
No, in Europe, he's not really that big, I would say, right?
Fair.
Since I moved to the U.S., I heard a little bit about him, watched him. So he's funny.
Yeah.
And honestly, when you see him, you wouldn't really expect it, I feel like. You know, that's what I felt when I saw him for the first time. I was like, oh, really? He's a comedian? I thought he was a police officer. You know?
Well,
you know what I'm
he
saying?
does have a long man's mustache. No, now that you mention it, yeah. If you show me a picture, like, what do you do for a living? He's like, yeah, cop.
Yeah, exactly,
Definitely a
right?
cop.
Come on, you didn't see that? Come on.
His next movie.
But that was the news, by the way. Thank you.
oh, gosh.
Now it's time for my favorite part of the show. Now it's time for AfterBuzz predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
I love that drop because it's like wearing a tin hat, you know?
I'm getting nervous, man.
So today we have our first 6 acts moving on. Frangela, Orlando Leyba, Jared Fell, Harry and Chris, JK Studios, and Matt Rife. Who goes the farthest? Or whom?
Frangela, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Wait.
I would say
Frangela.
it's gonna become close between Frangela and Orlando. I feel Orlando's gonna be like even better after show, to be honest. I feel like.
Yeah.
I think he knows exactly what he's doing, so I think he's gonna...
Any particular why we were doing Team Frangela?
I love their act. So now I'm interested because it's not a standard stand-up, and it's a very variety-like and sketch mix.
Yeah.
I feel like, okay, so what are they going to do next? Like, they're not going to do like the movie theater
That's
thing
true.
like each time. So
Right.
what are they going to do?
Yeah.
Like, they're in a mall. Like, what
That's
are they going
right.
to do?
They're very unique for sure.
Yeah,
Oh,
so if
I
it
think
doesn't
so,
if it
yeah.
doesn't get better and it's like, oh, that was a one-trick pony, then
Yeah.
I can see how
Yeah.
Orlando,
Yeah.
because he's very funny stand-up,
Right.
and I feel who else is in the mixer here? Jared's in this, isn't he?
I mean, honestly, guys, I feel like
Yeah.
the beautiful guy, you know, the handsome Matt.
Oh,
Rife.
Matt,
I feel like,
Matt.
honestly, I think he's a little underrated now. I think he's more the underdog.
I
Right
think
now.
he might get better.
I feel something is gonna come up very big for him. I feel. You know what I'm saying?
I'm inclined to agree. I don't want to get into like the technical thing of comedy, but like what made Matt so good is that he was able to subvert the stereotypes.
Exactly.
Right, with his good looks and the whole prison thing could have been dangerous.
Yeah, exactly.
We totally scared of that. So if that's the way he looks at things,
Yeah.
he may have some length. My worry is that like that's like it. Like he gave you the show, and I was like, okay.
Yeah,
Right, like what else do you have? Yeah.
But I'm excited now because I think the same thing. So I'm even more excited now to see what he comes up next with.
Yeah.
Yeah, because let me ask you, are they gonna? I mean, they have to come up with something like every week that's different. Obviously, it can't be like the same.
Yeah, it may be because I mean, if it is a 10-week show, I'm sure it's something different every time. If it's gonna be the same bit, it'll probably have different challenges. Like on the show Last Comic Standing, they'll throw out like hazards, like there's a heckler down this week, or something along those lines. And it's kind of hard to measure comedy. Like what is the measurement for a sketch versus?
There is nothing. You cannot really measure it, right?
Well, you know, Jeff was saying the funny is like he didn't care. He said it right from the beginning. And I was like researching a lot of stuff, and he just kept saying like, I don't care what you do, just make it funny.
Yeah.
I don't care what you do.
Yeah.
Just make it funny. So, and that's a great representation of the show. Like, everybody's got something so different.
So I gotta ask you, as a comedian, how do you approach it when you want to make something funny? Like, do you start from something that annoys you and go forward, or you just say this is my character or something? Like, what is your approach?
No, I start with what like is definitely annoying me, what's bothering me, and I like throwing characters in the mix and trying to like incorporate music, not guitar playing like our buddy Harry and Chris, because I don't play the guitar really, but that's kind of how I approach it. Try to do like a setup and just work it and we work it and then like, okay, I made this too long, now I got to make it shorter because I got to hit the punchline and try to make it so like freaking crazy off the charts that it's like, oh, and then I practice.
Okay, now you have to tell me, Jackie, what does annoy you? Give me something. Give me something.
Something that annoys me is how people chew their foods.
Oh, that's
like, come on, really? Like, this is go on. If you were chewing popcorn right now, you're doing this noise like.
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
Oh my God,
that's crazy. But they don't even realize it.
They don't realize it. And I get so distracted, and I just gotta put like earphones in.
It's so crazy.
I gotta put it at dinners. I'm like, they're like, well, Jackie's so fun. She likes loud music. Yay! I'm like, no, I don't want to freaking hear you chew.
It's the same like because I take the metro, right?
Yeah.
And people always like, oh my God, you take the metro in LA.
Yeah,
Are you
bless
crazy?
your heart, man.
Thank you so much. Anyway, so I take the metro, right? I take the
metro.
metro, and what people always do, they come in, hey, yeah, man, it's a great day today. Oh my God, I love that. And he's standing right next to me. I said, man, I don't say it because I have respect for everyone, right?
Yeah.
But they don't even realize where they are, I feel sometimes.
Yeah.
People just do things
they put it on
subconsciously.
speaker,
Because everyone's in their own world.
Well, people come in with these speakers now, like with these small speakers and just have loud music on. It's
I
like,
hate that.
and I was
that irks me.
No, the speakerphone too. Like, we don't need to hear your conversation.
Yeah.
It's so interesting.
You know what I'm saying?
Because I'm observing people. I'm not a weirdo or something, but I sit there and just watch them.
Yeah, it's good. You're a people watcher.
No, I think we're kind of all observant.
What about you? Like,
how I approach comedy? I don't know as we get into the whole nitty gritty thing, but it comes out. There's two exercises that I like when I'm trying just to create for the sake of creating. This is the secret, right? I take a topic or a location, right? So for me, like it would be public school or AfterBuzz TV, and I write, anything that makes me feel happy about it, angry about it, sad about it, and then I'll pull from there.
Right.
So yeah, you can go on a rant and be like, AfterBuzz TV doesn't put me on the shows I want, or whatever. Or I can be like,
really?
I love AfterBuzz TV because they love me back, and then that way you can find ways to make things funny out of that way. Another one I do, I just call my parents. My parents are just an endless source.
I love that.
This is the truth.
Can we call your mom right now?
I can probably say this.
Please.
But I texted my dad. My dad texted me this morning. He goes, you still have a father today. I was like, what do you mean? I do have one. He doesn't call me back. He goes, you're out of my will. I'm like, I'm in no one's will. That's the kind of family we have. And I think that to me is like the best way to do it. Yeah, and people love that stuff.
Awesome.
Because even though like my parents are Caribbean and I'm from here, like people
Where are the Caribbean?
Barbados.
Barbados.
But you grew up here,
I
right?
grew up in Brooklyn, yeah. Right. I'm not related to Rihanna, though. People always ask that question, but I don't know who Rihanna is. But they name the tune after her. But people always draw from that, and they go,
Are they cousins?
I do. No, people are always like, hey, man, my parents are overbearing, or hey, they want me to be a lawyer, or hey, whatever.
Right.
And that stuff is all universal.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why it comes back to Frangela, because their thing was a universal thing. We've all been to the movies where someone annoys you, but they did it in such a way it was totally on brand. But I have a question for you guys. For those people who did not advance today, was there anyone that you're kind of surprised and wish they were brought back?
No, I think the
Ali Colbert and Laura, the violin guy.
He's got the violin. I think Ali was funny, so we didn't get enough of her. So I'm thinking like, oh, I would have liked to have seen more of her.
I don't know. I'm kind of okay with everyone that they picked.
I'm okay.
I'm just okay.
All right. I mean, the only person I was super surprised was Jared Fell, but like,
yeah, totally.
But that's because it went over my head. So I'm like, okay, I got to see more. Definitely got to see more. But other than that, like I'm pretty satisfied with everyone that was chosen.
I actually wanted to see Zed go through, only to see him crash and burn a second time.
Totally.
I really wanted to see him
Totally
do it
got
a
you.
second
I got
time.
you.
Because I like, for that thing he made, it was totally contained for what it was. But I could imagine Kenan be like, oh, hell no. Get off my stage.
Literally let the robot crash and burn. No.
He'd leave. He'd probably had like the artificial teardrops.
I love the movements. That was incredible.
It was good.
incredible.
That was good.
Yeah, but really, how much more of that can you watch?
I know, but I did it 3 times until you realized. Thank you. It's
Not
okay.
5.
I got one more question for you guys. What are you guys looking forward to next week? We've seen variety, we've seen musical, we've seen comedy. Any other forms of comedy you're looking for? Any kind of structure, kind of like surprises?
What
are you
other
looking for
forms?
I'm
episode 2?
interested to see what JK Studios bring.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because that, I'm like, okay, I was super intrigued. Like, I was there with them. Like, I'm like, okay, I'm watching Disney Channel.
Yeah.
But, like, I'm interested what else they're going to do.
I mean,
I can see Frangela getting into something new, but I can't
Sure.
picture it.
Sure.
I can't picture
Props,
JK.
props.
Yeah, it's definitely like a Disney thing.
but they're gonna bring new people next week, right? So that means they're gonna bring. I think I saw a
They're gonna add
preview.
a
Like I don't want to
couple.
spoil it, but
So
there's
it'll be
gonna
different
be.
rounds, and then to that comedy clash will be like their
Yeah.
Hollywood for American. that kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
I don't want to spoil it. But
I
that's
like to
gonna be
see
a
something that
puppet.
has
saw
music,
that.
but maybe not with the
Influence.
instruments and like a little dancing, maybe like I don't know.
But we saw.
Impersonation.
Impersonations.
Some more because that
Oh,
is really
yeah, we
for
didn't see
sure.
that at all.
Yeah, maybe next week.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
next-
we definitely almost saw all forms of comedy, right, tonight, pretty much.
A
right?
lot of-
I mean,
a lot of
seriously,
modern
what else is
forms.
missing? Honestly, I mean, I'm just
performance
thinking about
art, absurdist humor, kind of thing. So
okay.
these kind of
And
things.
impersonating
Oh,
somebody.
impersonation. Okay, I can
impersonations,
see
yeah.
that. Okay, cool.
But yeah, who knows? Who knows that works on TV in a 2 minute? I think they got 2 minutes at
Right.
most to go
Yeah.
for it. But that's all the time we have for this edition of the Bring the Funny After Show. We'll be here same time next week. Before we get out of here, let's have our host introduce where themselves to find them. Man, Ben, where can the world find you online?
We can find you at Instagram, or me on Instagram. It's at Ben Schnau, BenSchNau. I love you also, and I love Chrissy also too. Thank you.
Had to throw that in there.
I have to. Sorry.
My name is Zakiyyah W_. You can find me on Instagram. If you need me to spell it out, it's with 2 Y's. ZAKIYYAHW_.
Love it. Confused, but love it. I'm Jackie Nova 7, JACKIENOVA. Number 7 for good luck. Jackie Nova 7 all across the board. You can check it out. Bam!
You're so New York. You're shit on the audience. Wow. I'm Flobo Boyce. I'm at Flobo Boyce on Twitter, at Flobito on Instagram, and Flobito.com. My comedy album, American for Now, is now available for streaming on Spotify and iTunes. Until next time, buzz you later.
Buzz you later, baby!
Founder Kevin Orgaro and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.